Dr. Gary Ostrower has been using web-based video conferencing to dialogue with prominent historians. Most recently, Dr. Ostrower invited Pulitzer Prize winning author and historian Martin Sherwin to talk with his American history students about the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Certainly some historians may, following the Cuban Missile Crisis, is that had the missiles in fact remained in Cuba, there would have been a fundamental challenge, a fundamental change in the world balance of power. To what extent do you accept that argument?
If they were able to put 30 medium and intermediate range missiles in Cuba, that would have upped their capability of hitting the United States. McNamara said, look,
in a very literal sense, it does open up any historian, any place in the world to speak to my class. You know, to become part, if you will, of the dialogue that I'm hoping to generate in my own class. When you have a video conference, you're able to raise those questions in a very explicit manner. And in that sense, you're able to kind of, mine the knowledge in ways that are simply not possible with a written word.
And the KGB officer refused to go along with that. So there's a certain irony about the crisis that the world was saved from a nuclear war by a KGB officer who kept his cool during this very hot moment in the Cuban Missile Crisis.
I think what's really important with what he showed us is that it wasn't simply Kennedy and Khrushchev. It was really a lot of small characters as well. It was naval administrators, it was submarine captains, it was KGB agents in submarines. I think that was really the main point I took from it.
I think in one other way, though, it provides something that the written word can never really provide, and that is the opportunity for the students to raise some of these questions. Not only for the professor to more or less determine what he's going to ask and what he's not going to ask, what he's going to assign as reading and what he's not, but allows the students to become a part of that historical dialogue.
Because of his success with video conferencing, Dr. Ostrower envisions an additional application for this technology in the history classroom.
And that's to conference with officials, the people who are actually making foreign policy, or to a certain extent, people who made foreign policy during the Carter administration, or the Reagan administration, or Bill Clinton's administration. To the extent that we're bringing those folks into this dialogue, we're bringing what I like to call primary sources.
Nick Walker sums up the value of video conferencing from a student's perspective.
I mean, you're talking to someone who's an expert in the field and who otherwise I probably would have never met, let alone, discussed with about the Cuban Missile Crisis.